I'm kind of warming up and I'm just lobbing it. I mean, yeah, I was told that's how it needs to be, and that was my game plan going forward. I wanted to, while all the other pitchers are trying to throw as hard as they can, I was trying to throw it as soft as I could. I wanted the hitters to just be completely thrown off by how slow it was coming in. So I'm warming up and I'm throwing them good. And Cade Feeney is the one standing there right next to me. He's kind of like making sure I'm getting myself ready. And he goes, "Hey, I just want to give you a piece of advice here. Every position player that goes out there and does this, at some point they're going to think, man, I can rear back on a fastball and I can get it by this guy."
Hi, I got another baseball question from this year. It's about your pitching career getting started this year in pro ball. You knew it was coming. I mean, if you took a peek at your baseball reference page, I mean, your pitching stats for the small sample it was pretty impressive. No strikeouts though, but nonetheless, still got in there. Still put up zeros when you were out there. Can you just walk me through like how you became the ace out of the bullpen, like when that came around?
Yeah, so we were in, I think it was Wilmington when it happened, and the night before my first outing, I remember they sent Seamus down. I was in the bullpen, obviously, and I remember it was getting late in the game, and Carson Seamus comes running down, and I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna see a little position player on the mound here, and he kind of starts getting ready, and then things kind of change, and he doesn't end up going in that night. I'm like, well, missed that opportunity. And the next night, he's playing third base. So we're down there. It's also the coldest night of the year so far. I'm down in the bullpen. I've got like 3 layers on. I'm bundled up. And we get a call like about halfway through the game. And it's not Kipper's voice. It's Iggy's voice. And he goes, "Hey, this is Iggy." And so we all kind of like look over at the man with the talkie, and he goes, "Tell Ehrhard." And I heard that and I go, oh man, like Rosie got hurt. I'm going to have to go into this freezing cold game like without, I mean, I've been sitting here for 5 innings. I've still been moving around, obviously, but it's cold. I'm not used to this and going to have to go jump into it. And then he pivots and he goes, "Tell Ehrhard that if things go south here, like he'll be pitching in this game." And I'm like, all right, tell him okay. And the guy with the talkie's like, all right, he's got it. And I'm like, it's not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, it's one of those things that it's going to get built up and you're ready for it, and then it's not going to happen. Well, sure enough, like 7th, 8th rolls around, and you hear Kipper's horse, and he's like, "All right, let's get Ehrhard up and moving around." And I go, "Oh, well, now this might happen." So I lose all the layers, and I get up on the mound and I start tossing. And then this is still one of my favorite professional stories to this day. I'm kind of warming up and I'm just lobbing it. I mean, yeah, I was told that's how it needs to be, and that was my game plan going forward. I wanted to, while all the other pitchers are trying to throw as hard as they can, I was trying to throw it as soft as I could. I wanted the hitters to just be completely thrown off by how slow it was coming in. So I'm warming up and I'm throwing them good. And Cade Feeney is the one standing there right next to me. He's kind of like making sure I'm getting myself ready. And he goes, "Hey, I just want to give you a piece of advice here. Every position player that goes out there and does this, at some point they're going to think, man, I can rear back on a fastball and I can get it by this guy. Don't do that. Like, that's the one that's going to get hit." And I go, "Oh yeah, I got you. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm going to go slow and I'm going to get him with the slow ball." And so sure enough, I get called into the game, bases loaded, 1 out, and I just float one in there. The guy takes it and he's kind of looking around like, what's this guy doing? Throw him another one, cue balls it right back to me, field it, throw it home. Rosie throws it to first. Boom, inning double play, get out of a bases loaded jam. That dugout's going crazy. It was such a cool moment. And so then I get in the dugout and he's like, "Hey, you got to go back out there." I'm like, "All right, I'm feeling good after that. I'm ready to go." So I go back out there, get the first guy, weak pop up. I'm like, here we go. Next guy, float one, takes it, float another one, and he's kind of late on it. He fouls it like off to the side, but I could tell like he was like late on it. He hit it behind him. I'm like, well, shoot, if he's late on that, like I think I can sneak one by him if he's going to be late on that. So sure enough, I like try and sneak one fast, and I think I threw it in at probably 73, and I get a line drive right by my ear, boom, at 103, single into center field, and I just go, God, Cade Feeney told me that one was going to happen. And so I'm like, after that, I'm not going to throw another one hard. And then thankfully, guy hits one into right center. I think Chalky throws him out at second. Next guy pop up to third. Boom, no runs that inning. I'm good. And that was my first professional outing, and got out of there with all zeros, and I was pumped.
Yeah, I just took a peek at the game logs that you had, and the first one was inning and 2/3 with only 2 hits and 0 runs, 0 walks. And then you put up more zeros. You had I guess an unearned run in your second outing, but then you gave up the homer in the third outing. Um, did you know that once you threw it, it was going to be gone? Was it one of those like you threw it and you're just like, nope, that one's gone.
I go back and I watch the video so many times because it is so funny. I do the just one bad thing that a pitcher can never do. I throw it and the guy hits it, and I point up, telling my outfielder, "Hey, pop up, pop up." And if you go back and watch the video, you just see me, and I'm pointing and I'm looking and I'm looking, and then I see it go out, and it's just, oh, dang it. He hit it right perfectly in the soft spot of that Greenville Stadium too, where the monster comes down, and then the wall gets normal size again, and then it starts kicking out. He hit it perfectly into that L, which is what I call like the soft spot of the stadium there. And yeah, I was just like, oh, that one sucks.
Well,
Yeah, that
you know
one that
what?
one was tough.
You know what? At the end of the day, though, for a guy that's not a pitcher, and you just look at the stat sheet for the year of 2024, and you got, I know ERA is kind of a dated stat. You got a 2.45 ERA for the season. All right, that's pretty damn good. So it's
The stat that
well,
I'm most proud of is when we have one of the big things that our pitchers track is early and ahead. So making sure you can get to 2 strikes before 3 pitches, and that was one category that I dominated. So every day in the clubhouse, the pitching coach puts like the organizational leaders in that category, and you see my name up there at the top. So every day when I get there and I'm standing next to Conley or I'm standing next to Wee Hunt, I got to tap him on the shoulder and I go, "Hey, you got to chase that guy. That guy knows early and ahead, man. You got to chase that. Go beat that guy." And they're just like, "We still don't know how you do it, bro. We don't know how you're just able to just keep throwing strikes." I'm like, "You forget that every time you throw a ball 60 feet 6 inches, I'm the guy that has to throw it back that same distance. And I don't know if you're paying attention, but I'm hitting you in the chest every time." So I'm a little familiar on how to throw a ball with a little bit of accuracy from 60 feet 6 inches.